State Council houses the PDP office is domiciled in the National Agricultural Seed Council. Next slide. So this is the organogram of IPOB, the council, the consultative committee, the technical committee, administrative and legal committee, and large. This is just the Writing Protection Act. Next slide. Look at this diagram. We have the green, we have the, let's say, the red, and we have the brown. 17 members of IPOB are in green. Let's look at Africa. And the European countries, Russia are members. Let's look at Africa. We have scattered colors. We have the red, we have the green, we have the brown. And Nigeria is conspicuously here. Brown. And what does brown says? It says we have one organization.
What is actually happening is it's a step-down training for OECD. Some months, precisely in June, we had the OECD conference, international conference, which was held in international conference, which was held in Turkey. Basically, the essence is that to produce seeds for international market, there are specific standards. Nigeria joining that group of nations, the 62nd member, we need to bring this training, these standards, what was the requirements, down to the participants along the seed value chain. That is from the regulators as the National Designated Authority, which is National Agricultural Seed Council here in Nigeria, need to train its personnel. We had 2 of these trainings before, but this batch of trainings we are doing now is the 3rd batch. We want to believe that at least everybody within the regulatory authorities, the personnel have been having an opportunity for the first training. One thing about training is always continuous because there are innovations that will be evolving from time to time, and therefore you don't train, you will not be at home with the new innovations. So it is also our duty to carry this training down to the producers so that from the one of production, you know the standard that we are producing. We already have our national standards for seed production, but when you are to produce to market internationally, which is very good for Nigeria, we cannot be a dumping ground. We too should be able to export so that we can make some money for foreign exchange. So it is also an opportunity for even an outsider, knowing that we are operating international standard, to come and produce in Nigeria and sell. At least one thing we know about that, if you are not in Nigeria and you are producing in Nigeria and exporting, we know that apart from employment, there are also some other things that add to our national income. So that's really principally what. For you to import seeds in the first place, it starts from the Seed Council. You have to write National Agricultural Seed Council, who will determine whether there is a need for that seed in the first place. Particularly, and we have to we ask for the passport of that particular variety, which will have given us details. So if it's not as good as what we have here, then why do we need to import? So all these things, then we also look at the country where those things are coming. What are the challenges there? If there are the things that will come and threaten our biosecurity, then we have no choice than to reject that request for. It is when this council has now justified that, oh, this thing can come, it's of national importance, it will add value to the nation's economy, then we can give the approval and now recommend you to Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service who will issue you the permit. So they see that after one person's job, another person takes over, and that's how it is. Quarantine, by the time those goods are coming in, they are they are responsible for looking at the phytosanitary aspects, so that they are looking at the phytosanitary aspect of something that has to do with already existing diseases. So they have there's a very close relationship in our activity. When you finish your work, just like in breeding, when the breeder comes out with a variety, it ends up with the farmer, and it's a chain from the breeder. The people, foundation seed companies, picks up to multiply it to certified seed, to foundation seed, from foundation seed to another class of companies that produce certified seed. Then the certified seed gets to the farmer, and whatever the farmer plants becomes grain for use. So that's how I think it's a systemic arrangement in all cases.
So far, it's great. This is the first day of 3 days of training, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture is really pleased and honored to partner with the National Agricultural Seed Council, and I believe Nigeria's applied for 2 of the OECD's seed schemes. And so the training is going on today, and it's going to be going on for 2 more days. So far, it's going wonderfully. I know there's almost 60 different seed analysts and certifiers, and I think they should definitely keep an eye on all the different international regulating bodies for seeds and plant varieties. And they've already gone through most of those today, but I think it's really important to keep note of those international rule-setting bodies, because it's with understanding those international rule-setting bodies that Nigeria will be able to import and also export seeds throughout the entire world.
Yeah, what presently we're doing is that we assemble all the quality assurance officers from all the states here to update their knowledge on how to operate on the OECD scheme that Nigeria was admitted as the 62-member state last July. That is the essence of this training that is going on. The issue is that what we're doing, if not with the support of government, I don't think you will be here, you and me today. Because just like I said, is that we're being threatened by a disease that is coming from Uganda, now in Cameroon, about to enter Nigeria. And this is the cassava brown streak virus, virus that is threatening the cassava production. And the worst aspect of it is that all the variety of cassava that are released in Nigeria were tested with that virus. They are not tolerant. So it is with the support of government that we are trying to draw a border between Cameroon and Nigeria, monitor and supervise so that that disease will not cross to Nigeria. And you know, cassava is one of our staple food here in Nigeria. So we need to thank government for that. And that is why we're doing up and doing, so that we execute our mandate by making sure that all the cassava that is going to be produced or being imported are screened for virus load, so that what the farmer will have access to it is a clean material. So for the plant quarantine, we're working hand in hand with them. And that is after an approval is given from our organization. The next thing for them is to do the phytosanitary test to make sure that what is coming, it does not harbor any disease or any pest, so that it will not threaten the biosecurity of Nigeria. And that is why the 2 organizations are working in synergy and collaboration to see that we fulfill that government mission and make Nigeria a food secure nation. The sensitization is being carried out along the area for these diseases, and there are a lot of workshops, seminars that are being carried on, even jingles in the radio, so that these people will be aware that there is a problem, there is a signal, something is going to happen. So they have to be mindful. And all the quarantine people are manned in the border so that they check extremely. They have to be very careful before anything that cross or comes from this border, so that we won't have this problem. Because we won't be taking any lapses, because we know what cassava means to Nigeria. You should know that Nigeria produces the highest tons of cassava globally, and not in terms of consumption. In terms of industrial use, cassava stands as a major crop that you can get a lot of money out of that. And that is what the government is trying to do, so that our people can expand, can have money, can create more wealth, and so that we can have food that we are going to eat. So that is what we are working on.
Nigeria just became the second member nation of the OECD, and part of the requirements of the OECD for being a member is to have capacity building for all our staffs and operators on the field. And one of the landmarks event we need to do is to ensure that the capacity of staffs are built, and that informs this training for bringing our staff from all over the country. And they will be on this 2-day class training and 1-day field training with international facilitators from SASA in the UK to build capacity of our staff so that they can operate in line with the international best practice as dictated by the OECD seed schemes. Well, the federal government has been all supportive. Nigeria became a second member state because of so much support from the federal government. The Honorable Minister has been very supportive, and we know this is a win-win for Nigeria because it opens us to the international seed trade, which of course will benefit Nigeria, and apart from benefiting Nigeria, will become the precursor of development in seed trade among the sub-Saharan African countries. So it's a good support from the federal government, and it's a win-win situation for Nigeria and Africa. First of all, when we look at bringing in seeds unregulatedly into the country, it opens us to some biosecurity risks. So the emphasis of NASC, we have a full complement of department that is in charge of surveillance, seed information, and seed law enforcement to make sure that spurious seeds that are not registered are not bringing into the country in line with international best practices, and NASC is really working assiduously to ensure that this is nipped in the bud and that good and well-regulated seeds are circulated within the countries to give farmers value for their money.
I am Ibrahim Shaibu, Seed Certification Officer, Northwest Zaria. We have been here on step-down training workshop for OECD. Nigeria has just been admitted into the OECD member countries. That means we are now part of the OECD 62nd member country. And what it means for Nigeria is improved certification standard. We are now going to work on the standard of the OECD for international trade. And this is a significant milestone for Nigeria because we have improved access to seeds. It will facilitate trade. We are now free to trade our seed. We have been admitted for maize and sorghum. So over the last 2 days, from Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, we have been taking lectures on the standard of OECD seed certification. And I think we are here on the field to see what are the standards, because we are used to our Nigerian seed standard, and now since we are going advanced, we have to follow the OECD seed standard for international trade. So that is why we are here. Most of us here are certification officers over Nigeria, and we will be intimated on what is the difference between OECD standard and Nigerian seed system. Thank you.
Better than what you hear. So I want you to use this opportunity to ask most of the questions that you are asking here practically. Right from establishment, what are the observations, what are the inferences that is expected. This is the basic thing that you're supposed to learn, and that is why I can say I will welcome those that come from outside offices. But for those who are here for us, you are welcome to NACS headquarters. So I think we'll show you. Okay, Dr. Chukwu. Okay. So please don't forget, ask whatever question you want, because all that was discussed is this thing that is in the field. It is decentralized. It is not only in the headquarters. No, we have done it in KB, in Kano, in Kwara, and say establish GOT. And say establish GOT in your place. Nobody will be with you. So it is expected that you learn.
Not in the headquarters, just as we are told, we have the standard, we have the control plots. That's why we establish it, so that from the standard we judge the control from the seed companies. This is the standard is from the Research Institute, which is IAR Zaria for the maize. For the soya beans, we have from NCRI, because they are the mandate institute. So from here we have about 7. No, it's the same variety. It's almost 52. And this is from IAR. This is from My Choice, and others follow. This is the breeder, this is the foundation, and the certified follow. Just as we are told that when you are establishing, for you to judge. So this is the standard that you use to judge the foundation and the certified.
Thank you very much. This is the GOT fields we are saying. We are going to make it more practical now. You see, because the emphasis Gary was making when I built up, when I took it, and if your basis of judgment, you are using 1,000 plants. So when you are planting, you should give room for an increase. At least let the plot area carry 1,200. So that in the first 2 weeks, when you do an establishment count, you may end up falling into 1,150 or 1,100. That will help you to make your judgment. In a situation where you establish a count of only 1,000, and after you plant it, you're having 800. Already, if you look at that standard table that was formed, where will you fall your judgment into? You are going to be biased. So these are some of the things some of us, as the director rightly said, the GOT is decentralized. It means that anybody can do GOT. Anybody can do GOT. And with this advent of OECD, I believe we will put on for rice and soybean again. So most of us are going to be on our toe to do and establish a standard GOT that will collect the data and put it. So now, these are the fields. We are going to do it more practical. We remember yesterday, the assignment we gave ourselves. Let's do it general here before we group ourselves now. We'll group ourselves and we'll enter the field so that we'll do the evaluation. When we go outside, we'll just train ourselves on how to do the counting. You understand? We are doing two things now. Both the field inspection and the evaluation of a control plot. I saw a trait somewhere. Madam Caro, what is this? This trait, Why
This is where, you know, you cannot take evaluation of every stand here. So we took about.
I believe they may have tied like 3 to 5 plants at random. You understand? Because each plant has a stand of appearing. So we pick it at random and tie it so that we can take the plant height, the other agronomic parameters. So as I said earlier, let's just use one plant and do our discussion, yesterday's assignment. Then we group ourselves and enter the field so that anybody that see any difference, but they are not going to uproot or be established. What we can see now is the prop roots. Can you see it? And you see the color. This is also a phenotypic expression of the variety. You can see this stem-based coloration is what? Green. Are so benevolence, they are laughing. The leaf will be so white, but you can see the angle of inclination is less than 45 from here. It's also a distinguishing character of varieties. You see, and you see the leaf arrangement. You can see the arrangement of the mid-leaf. Is it thicker, tapered, and this? The leaf orientation, the leaf coloration, all we discussed. As you are going, good. You can see here, this is the silk. By virtue of this, pollination has taken place. Why? Because of the color. You understand? It means that pollination has taken place. So the seed is forming now. If you see a whitish color, you see this one too, pollination. You see like this one, it's ongoing. You don't touch it. It's ongoing. If you want to prove it, if you see a white or creamy silk, you just cover it and tie it. Then after the pollination, come and open it. Observe this. This is the tassel. This was the flag leaf we are mentioning in our car. The last leaf before the... You see, the orientation of the flag leaf also matters a lot. Some of them there is white insertion, while others are infused. So you also use it as your basis of judgment. All we are going to see it. Some tassels are compacted, while others are scattered. Some are Bob Marley. So you also use this tassel to make your judgment, since this is a variety. And based on the class, you know, if you have a breeder, what are you expecting? At least 99.9% purity. So let there be at least some degree of uniformity. Even if they are going to a little modification, let it be in the CS. Maybe as a result of heterogeneity and environmental factors. But for breeders, we don't tolerate that. So these are all the phenotypic expressions we are going to use for our inspection now. You see, this is a small GOT. In a plot, I don't mean we are doing inspection. The first thing we establish is what? The isolation distance. Why? Because we said maize is a what? Cross-pollinated crop. You understand? So you must have a minimum distance for 35 feet of 200 meters. Minimum of 200 meters. Do you know why the reason? We discussed in our car. You know the pollen, the male pollen. You understand? Research has proven that within the first 200 meters of its movement is viable. After which it has lost viability. You see, if you are seeing this pollen, if you are going to count the pollen, this is over 5 million pollen. Very tiny. God in his wisdom did it that way. The men are so benevolent. They share. You understand? Then the silk is around 2 million. So when pollination takes place, there may be room for wastage, but no matter how, the female will be fertilized. Enough.
We are highly delighted to have you. I think from everybody here, I think I know about only 1/10. And that shows that most of you are new in the system. So, and that is a very positive something, because we as the council, we take capacity building very, very serious. Because you cannot go to the field. If you are inspecting a field, it is not the person that you are going to inspect the field that will be telling you this is what to do. You are the one to tell them this is what to do. And that's why we are not joking with capacity building. And I'm happy with the organizers for the kind of the participants that they have drawn for this training. So I wish you well. I wish that it's not just for us to train you, but for you to apply the knowledge. So we are talking of application of knowledge here. So it's not just for you. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that you need to know what they are teaching you. if you don't know anything, the best way to learn is what? By asking questions. Ask questions, and by then you are going to learn more. But we are relying on you. As a director now, I cannot be going for field inspection again. Is that right? So you are the one, and you are the one to be representing us, and you must represent us well. And that's why we are conducting this training. Again, you must have been told that we are changing our certification system from what we have to what is called OECD system, and that's the essence of this training. Do you understand? So even some of the old certification officers, what we know before, some of them are going to change. And that's why all of you have to take this training very serious. So I wish you the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What stage? Is it when the thing has established, then you saw the good one? Madam Karo, let Madam Karo.
No, we did it round up. That stage.
It's encouraged after your establishment count.
Yeah.
This is what we are looking at.
That is why it's having all annual infestation too much. And the gene for resistance of virus is changing also.
Okay. So let me change the people. I will. Yes, because this one is okay. This one has tabulated. Okay. So you can get us. Can you get us? Yes.
So if you say that's a place, the silk color will change.
That is why now you have noticed that it started changing. And this silk is the one that is forming the kernel inside the air. So each silk now is going to be one kernel formed inside the maize. So if you can see the leaf arrangement, the flag leaf is like this. This is a very important distinguishing feature in maize certification. This is the arrangement of the flag leaf. It's like it's horizontal. And the but
not all.
Yes, it depends now. Some varieties you will see the title is not as spread as this.
The flag leaf is not drooping like this one is up. You can see that this is the flag leaf. This is it.
Yes.
The color, if you check the color of the leaves are different from this one.
It's like yellowish.
Aside that, look at the leaf. This is thinner, but if you check the other, this other one, no, this one is thinner. The off type, you can see that it's thicker.
Yes.
You see, that it's very thick. If you check the leaf orientation, can you check the difference from here to here? But this one, the difference is less than 90 degrees. Yes, the internode is less than 90 degrees. They are so compact. So you can know that this one is an off type in this.
Like this one.
You can check.
And the flag leaf is
the flag leaf is inward, it's not drooping outside. So this is an off type from the remaining one. And if you check, most of them are
this one now is off type. This one is off type. And this one too is off type. As you can see, all the farms supposed to be with this one. Yes.
This one,
so all of them supposed to have this
yes.
And it also has scattered more than this one. Where some you will discover that the last this thing, it will be taller or separated from the main tarsus. You will discover that in other varieties, the first step like this, it will be longer. So all these are attributes that you need to observe. So as I said earlier, in some varieties, you will see that the tarsus is taller. Some are very blunt, some are wider, and some are very just narrow. Then some are shorter. So that is from the distance you will see the growth system. Are they uniform growth or the growth? Then there are some area you will discover in terms of the fertility of that soil. Some area have higher fertility, and those particular plants in that stage may tend to take.
You are going to apply 10 meter by 1 meter. So in each plot, you are going to have 3 rows. If it is OECD, Then from first plot to the last plot, that is third plot, we give you 1 meter. From each roll now, we give you 50 centimeters. Because in each plot, we give you 3 rolls. So from one, the first roll to second roll, we give you 50 centimeters. From the second roll to third roll, give you 50 centimeters. So 50 centimeters plus 50 centimeters give you 1 meter. Then the distance of the plot is 10 meters. That is why we have
higher percentage and variation in height.
then each of the
rate is we observe that is established for
security 50 centimeters, just the way the
because we are trying to test if it doesn't germinate, we leave it that way. We are comparing what research gives and what the seed companies produce and claim that is good. So they ought not to have done supply. See how badly infected this one is. Come and see the maggots. Come and see. It's the tassel. How will it fertilize? Although it will get pollens from neighboring plants. But imagine all your maize fields are like this. See.
Are supposed to convert it to grains. Yes. So much off type, and if you tell them, they will not believe. So he said, why didn't we rogue? The essence of GOT is not to rogue, but it's to showcase what the company is selling or the research institute is giving out to the farmers to buy. And since there's a mixture, we'll call them during our field day to check. You gave us this seed to plant. We didn't rogue. This is what you've been selling to farmers. So we will now tell them, make your judgment yourself. You can see that there are so many mixtures. We did not contaminate it. It's what you gave us, we exhibited for you to see. So we'll now write to them that this seed, this variety, this lot number should not be sold as seed. It can be converted to the open market as grain. So that's what.
Assuming all things being equal, and all the seed have germinated. You understand? By virtue of your inter-row, you can just use the code to do the calculation. You get the exact, but it's not on the research. It's not germination. You must have one either by insect test, tempered by insect test, or something happen. But at least if you can get 95% germination, it's excellent.
This one, if you enter a control place, this is what you start doing.
Like when you enter into a field, like the GOT field, it's not like certification work. When you just have to certify.
For me, the breeder seed there, if I'm to certify that field, we will not move to foundation.
But that's GOT now.
See now, we've seen it now. Whether it's GOT or not.
We talk about standard sample.
It's supposed to be.
Did you operate here?
Yes.
Where did you get
Where? Which company, man?
This is 10 meters by 1 meter according to OAC. That was not.
Just calm down. It's not your problem. But I'm saying the reality of what you are saying in the country. This is the standard sample.
They are.
Is it doing as a standard sample is supposed to?
No.
So
that's why we are judging it here in the field. Because physically we cannot.
Then Ben,
say
why did you counter me when I talked about
it? That's why they always tell you that when they
I'm only trying
to get a portion of the pure. But now,
no, but Dr. Osho, every year you go, sir.
See, it's still from the NCRI.
It's still from them. Because every year they continue to.
So that if there's any anomaly, there will be comparison.
Yes.
But you see, the issue is they will carry the best seed.
Not exactly what.
They will give us.
How? Who takes the
It's
sample?
Anyhow.
No. Who takes the sample? I will decide to clean my seed because I know you want to use it. You will not see anything on the seed.
So you'll be there to
collect the sample and send to us. If not, they will clean it.
So now, please, what we are going to do, we have established this GOT and we know the procedure and the layout. What we do now is thorough field inspection for soybean. We are not allowed to enter the maize because of the falling of the pollinators. Now we are going to enter the soybean field. There's a big soybean field that we used last year and also well established. And there are obvious uptypes, which when you go as a group, every group, you enter in rows. Anywhere you see an uptype, you identify it. They will come and evaluate it together and proceed. Are we okay?
Yeah, no, you are keeping the sample. You are keeping the sample.
They on the day of
come to them.
The day of the establishment.
Yes.
Then you give the sample.
I gave you.
Like that, which you call me. But by the time we look at that.
You have 5 groups. When you finish one quadrant, you move other groups start from different area.
Different.
Then when you put your report, in each quadrant, how many uptypes you use?
It's different color. This one is purplish, this one is whitish. This one is not the same thing.
And we
Look
can
at the
see
variation.
each group will give you permission to fruit only one.
Which variety is here?
Like this one. You look at this one.
This one is
4048.
good.
That one is the same. We don't need to know the variety. Establish uptype for us.
One person should go there.
This one.
And this one, they are the same.
They are the same? Okay. Okay, brother leaf.
Yes, brother leaf.
No, this one is not brother.
This one and this one.
When you check this one, you can see the hairy nature of from the stem is whitish. While the other variety you have checked is conspicuously brownish.
Brown.
Yeah, and the hairy nature is not only on the branches and the stem, also the pod. If a variety is carrying the whitish hairy nature, the pod will also have the whitish hairy nature.
Right.
Another thing is the flower color. When you have the basic flower color that we are much familiar with is the purplish and the whitish and maybe the yellowish. This one you see is a purplish flower color. So if it is having purplish flower color variety, it's known 1951.
Okay.
Post TGS 1951 3F is having a whitish stem color, and
This is purple.
the flower color of this one is purplish, while that of this one is whitish. So they are not the same thing, even though they have the same hairy nature or the pubescence, or as whitish and whitish. When it is brownish, like it is in the other field, it will be conspicuously brownish. Even a small boy will say, okay ma, this is a brownish hair.
The ones are very sensitive. Early in the morning they are here. But in the afternoon you go to the
Okay, ma, for you to have started flowering already, that is the productive age, and look at the size of the leaves compared to this
You
one.
know,
that
it's
just
just
started
as
flowering.
we talk that in a field, that's why uniformity is not there.
Yes, ma'am.
Snap it roll.
Worm. There is a worm.
Worm.
That eats up soybean. They call it, let me check online.
A mixture. Immediately pollination is completed, all the male lines. You take them complete out from the farm, so that when you come for your female lines, there is no mix up that you did, because just one cup of that male line that mixed with female line will mess up your. Just imagine this is a stand. This will become.
It's even an off-type set.
It is now. It's the one I was kicking the other time, that this is a pure
Like that one
off-type.
is, look at that
Okay, that one. So this one now, this just assume, imagine the number of pods that will come from here. So if you allow this to go, next generation
Yes.
to multiply themselves. Go and start removing fancies, self-pollination and other things.
After you count the offside, you give us assessment.
Which assessment?
Is that low solid again?
No,
Only solid.
This is a young branch. That's why the leaf is slim.
Okay.
So with time, it will still expand.
This one is
and
attached
get
to this
broader.
one.
and get broader like this one.
No, this one is not.
You can't
off.
use single leaf to identify of.
The first one we checked was what?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. That is why she said this one is different.
So generally, any other observation, apart from the uptime, what do we think? The observation was on the health. Madam is talking first.
The population.
Of which company? What about population?
There's a mixture.
And most of them, during processing, they don't see some. Let's go.
Certifying of what they are saying. We've seen it.
Why?
Yeah.
But the joy is this: we are all Africans. But the last year's own was an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Because we have a technical expert. And unfortunately, he himself asked, what class of seed was this? And they said breeder seed. So please, we are in-house. We have a way of improving this within ourselves. We have seen it ourselves. We have assumed this is 1 hectare field. We've taken our quadrant and we have done our evaluation. So based on our judgment, what did we see? Group 1.
Then the flowers, some are purplish, while some are white.
So what's the summary of the observation? So what's the summary?
Like
In your quadrant count.
For the
how
first
many
quadrant,
We have 15 that we notice. 15.
In 1 quadrant.
Then the other was 40, is 41.
41 purple flowers and
The second one, 41 off type. We bring the
41 of them.
yes, purple flowers, the rest white.
with even from the leaf.
You cannot use that to judge.
Excuse me.
We were not using that to judge.
You cannot use
The leaf to the flower.
The shape of the leaf.
So that means the field is failed. For a breeder seed, you should know that the purity is 99.9. So when you are getting 14 in assuming 100, it means you are above the threshold. So you consider the farm what? Failed. Isn't it? It's okay. So that's group 2. That's group 2, huh?
Our first quadrant, we have 16 off types.
16 good.
The second one, we have 27.
27 good.
Then the third one, we have 36. So if you, when we sum the total number, we have 79. Then the expected number is 300, which means observe divided by expected multiplied by 100. So we now have 26.3%. So the minimum requirement is 99.9%. And it's
So you can so your judgment now is you
should
see
be
what you are saying.
regarded as a grain, not a seed.
We discovered that one, the population is partially scattered. Population is not okay. Then we also
that is from the establishment.
Yes. We also discovered some effects of worms on the plants. Then we also discovered some diseases, like this septoria brown spot, the sudden death syndrome. We have observed. We also the name of the worm that was.
You are replacing Raji today. Straight to the point. How many off types did you count?
Okay. Yeah. When going to talking about off types, at the quadrant, the first quadrant we observed, we inspected, we had 2 off types. Then the other 2 we have one each.
So if your farm is assumed to be 1 hectare, your one can be considered.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Based on that minimum threshold. Yes. So you see why we are doing inspection. So in this case, it's very important for you to cover at least 75 to 80% of the field. And I advise us when you enter through this area this time, you know when you are going to be biased in consider on the first quadrant. But when you are getting to the 8th, 9th, you'll be tired. When next you are coming, don't come through this quadrant. Your second visit, come through the next quadrant there. So that you can give fair covering. And your judgment will be excellent. Thank you. I want to appreciate all of you for the dexterity in this field observation. And all of you did well. If you can put it into use in your areas, I believe we'll strike higher. Thank you very much.
Certification department. I know what I'm saying.
Certification officer.
Sorry, you are faster. We did our evaluation in your absence. Let me just summarize the evaluation. The first 3 groups on their quadrant count was nothing to write home about. The minimum threshold was even higher than they expected. That means the field is failed. But the other group, one of the group, where they concentrated on their quadrant count, they have a minimum number, which when we assumed, based on their judgment, the field will be considered for the class of seat. But the joy of this exercise is that all of them are now acquainted with the mode of operation in field inspection, both for soybean and for maize. This is, and we concluded that the entire field is considered field, and this seed field should not be considered a seed, though based on the number of uptypes we have observed. This is the conclusion of this exercise. Thank you very much. So you can please come together and
clean their seeds, as in.
Please, can we come
Their
together?
bits.
Let's finish them.
You see this seed, where is seed code that is handling this education? From psychological ways of relationship. A white man will not tell you, oh, you did it bad. He will diplomatically tell you, but if you understand, you know he's telling you you did well. See the banters Gary threw to me yesterday that, oh, is it that you don't want me to see your slide?
Which was not deliberate.
He has passed the message. So unlike us, I'll say, Kai, you just did rubbish. They won't do that. They will just diploma. But if you understand, it's like somebody asking you, friend, with your new schedule, will you be able to cover this? I know you are very busy. Yes, I'm actually busy. You will not sit as registered. He's not going to give you that job. That question is just to assure him that I can still do it. I have confidence. So those are the things we need to learn, because very soon, by the grace of God, you guys will start going out to meet with them. And when you meet with them, they are not, you know, before we all think when you meet a white man, you tell them, my country is bad. See, there's no, we are not doing it well. We are not doing it well. If you go to their people, you see what they are covering through. You'll be surprised. They cover a lot. But you know, when they are together in the forum, everybody speaks as if you are living in utopia. Everybody is in the world of his own. But we black, we think when we tell them that we are not doing well, they will help us. So those are things we need to learn, and I told you also we need to come. By now, there should not be anybody here that you wouldn't know their names.
There's one person, my friend. He refuses to talk to me. I don't even know his name.
So, coming back to what we are, to our station, Dr. Manasi, how many presentations do we have? We both have meeting at different hours, so we are just trying to do and I want us to actually close early so that anybody that wants to go out, ladies who want to go shopping, can go shopping.
Never see something.
Never see and never see and we continue doing more and more. Very soon there will be an OECD desk and we will be the people involved. We are going for Margaret's assessment now, and that assessment is very important. There's no cheating about it. Once you do it, you submit, she sends us the result. And the secret about the result, once the result comes, acting DG wants it. And it's a basis, it's a yardstick for assessing. You always know the people that got the first 5 and people that got the last 5. So there's no bonding because I won't allow you to bond. And the thing about it is that, like I said, at every day you sit with a different person. Those are the ways you need to bond. But whether you do well or you don't do well, it doesn't affect your promotion, it doesn't affect your salary. It's to tell you that there are some things I need to learn. How many people have downloaded the OECD document? So if I say make it, I see Anna, I will see Anna.
Sure.
It's hard to read, it's a lot of work to read, but at least there are some places that are not our own. When you talk about habit, you talk about trifonium, it's not our own. Just go and focus on maize, sorghum. That is what we need to read for now.
Good afternoon. I am Agbola Glory from Southwest Region, Ibadan. I'm a staff of National Agricultural Seed Council. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. I feel like in the agricultural space, there is still so much work to do, especially in the certification department. There is a lot of work to do just to be able to get the best out of agriculture. Yeah. So. First, I would. I don't want to call it advice. I would say I want to appeal that they should help us, put together more trainings like this, because there are a lot of things that we are yet to know. For me, I particularly saw, sweet potato for the first time. It's crazy. Yes, it's crazy, but I just want to appeal. We need more trainings like this. In the Southwest, it's not as broad as what they do here in the North, so we have quite a long way to go. So yeah, I would just appeal that we need more of this kind of trainings and exposure. Yeah. If I was given the chance, I think I would want us to introduce more of these grain crops in the Southwest. We don't have so much of it in the Southwest. For instance, in the North, they have a lot of sorghum. We don't have that in the Southwest. If I had the chance, maybe like a controlled environment where we can have things like that in the Southwest. So Southwest people don't have to travel all the way down to be able to partake in trainings like that. I will do that, yeah.
Matthew Godwin Enojo. I have always had the expectation to learn very well the practical aspect of my field of study. And this is a one-time experience that I will always love, that people who are being given opportunity to take very serious, because you might not have this opportunity again. As a certification officer, you need to know the core cause of your practice. And with this, I want to thank the facilitator and those in charge of this for brilliant and well-organized workshop. Certification officer, you must learn to follow the due process in assessing the farmers or the companies. There should not be any compromise. This is one of the failures we are having today in Nigeria. So many people are ready to compromise for the good. But I'm here to stand on the feet of the council, the mandate of the council, to always provide good seeds for farmers. From the experience I got today, I want to advise the council that when seeds are being given to the council to plant as a GOT, the council should always try to send a representative from the certification to be at the farm or to be at the seed companies, so that will foster the unity. Because most of these companies will want to get the pure seed for themselves and formulate seed and send to the council. But if the seed certification officer is there, it will enhance and give the council a formulable seed.
It's amazing to be back here again, and I want to thank the collaboration that USDA has had for many years with the National Agricultural Seeds Council. So thank you, Deputy Director and Deputy Director General. I also want to thank all of you. I know Monday and Tuesday was training inside, and then today in the morning afternoon you had a chance to get outside. So I was very jealous. I wanted to join you all today, this morning in the field. Mr. Oji said not possible. So I hope the next year, the year after that. I also want to thank the OECD trainers. So this is, it would be great to see Nigeria become certified in the two schemes that you have applied for, and hopefully more in the future. I think this is going to do a lot to not only help Nigerian farmers, but also help fellow farmers, producers in the surrounding ECOWAS region, Africa, be able to acquire certified seeds with the right varieties. So this is a wonderful first step, and thank you, Dr. Rochelle, for serving as the master trainer, one of the master trainers of the last few days. Again, on behalf of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, thank you very much.
Thank you for watching BMC TV. Please watch, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.